we won't use the ball first up, okay? We'll just find your little split squat type position, okay? But hopefully you can see there that I'm actually going to be over the top onto the front of my foot, the top of my foot, okay? So I'm going to go through to here rather than being on the ball of the back toe there, all right? And what you're essentially going to do from there is just drive the knee of that back foot down towards the floor a little bit, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm just softening the front leg a little as well, but I'm predominantly trying to drop this right knee, in my case, down towards the ground, and then coming back up to that slightly more elevated, lifted position. So the stretch, the mobilize that we're aiming for is through the front of the shin, okay? Now again, it's a position that we don't often get into, if ever, so it's a bit uncomfortable to begin with. So certainly don't force any big ranges with this as you just get yourself used to the mobilize, okay? So when you've done that for maybe 40 seconds or so, what I'll get you to do is just slightly then internally rotate the foot to do the same thing, okay? So I just changed my angle up there just so you guys can see a little bit better. Rather than it being the foot straight up and down there, I'm now going so that my big toe is slightly more angled in towards my body, right? And then I'm going to do the same thing up and down through that little range there. Cool. Again, just work on what feels comfortable for you. So again, hopefully you can just see that I'm just slightly internally rotating through the toes. So I'm just angling the big toe in towards my body a little bit more as I go through here. Okay? It might load that front quad a little bit as well, but primarily you should be starting to get this nice bit of warmth through the front of the shin and top of the foot. Okay? So from there, if you switch to the other leg, but we're still actually trying to impact the same leg that we've already done some work on, okay? So I just want you to do this little front to back slide from there, okay? So I'm staying on the floor with my left foot, and it's still my right leg that I'm trying to get the release for. As I go 1 to 1, front to back there. Again, it's just this front to back motion through the knee of this standing leg, of my right leg, that's just giving me the little bit of ankle, shin, calf mobility. Cool. So from that round, now what we'll do is keep that foot on the floor that, again, we've worked on. And I'll now go with what was ultimately the passive leg for its stretch, for its mobilize. So I'm now left foot back, over the top of my foot onto the toes here for this first round again. So just softening into the back knee, a little bit of a bend through the front knee, in and out through there. Okay, maybe it's about 30 seconds of just a little bit of softening and release, a little bit of softening and release. And just trying to increase that end range with each of the reps that we do. From there, all you'll do again is just angle that foot slightly more internally, yeah? So I'm going to go here. So my left toes are now going to angle slightly in towards my body as I soften the knees. Again, that changes whereabouts I feel that. So that goes from me personally, from being quite shinny to being more the top of the foot, which is what I'm after. So there. So again, this is still my left leg as my back leg. Then what I'll do is I'll change so that the left leg, which is the one I'm still releasing, is now stabilizing me as I slide front to back. And again, just try and increase the range, increase the reach with each of these reps. Cool. So from there, with your ball, just come down to a little seated position. We're going to do front of the shin, we're going to do calf, and we're going to do the bottom of the foot. And then we're going to do one more round of the mobilize, okay? So for the front of your shin, you basically want to identify that nice, fairly straight and long line of tissue that runs just adjacent to your shin bone, okay? So what I'm going to do with the ball, I'm just going to work my way down that shin bone, just with a little bit of light pressure, and see if I've got, so my spot today here is about there, and then all I'm going to do is just work the flex and extend of my ankle, okay? You can do this from being on the roller, if you like, by setting yourself that way over, so that you're essentially kneeling on the roller, if you're wanting to. And again, do the same little point of the toe and back. But a golf ball will work, a release ball will work from this setup. I find that when you're belly down and your weight's over the top of the ball or the roller, it's almost too aggressive, and that tissue doesn't necessarily like that a whole heap, okay? So it's just that little point and draw back up with the toes when you found your little spot that feels like a winner. From there, go into the backside, so into the calf, and see about finding a similar spot. Again, it might mirror up exactly front to back. You might find that it's a little bit higher on the calf side, but then again, same thing, just work into the point and pull up with the toes. And then we'll switch across to the other shin, switch across to the other foot. So I'm working down the front of the shin from there. Again, just off of the shin bone, because that'll be uncomfortable for a totally different reason. Just work my way down from just below the knee to just above the ankle crease. And see what it feels like to, again, just flex and extend out through the foot, through the ankle. Work your way up and down initially. Again, I'm a bit tender there today, so I'll stay around that spot. Again, maybe the foot goes in that little internal to external sort of movement as well. See how that feels. And then from there, we'll just flip it to the back side of the body, into the calf. And again, point the toes and come back. Again, take a couple of seconds just to identify your spot in particular, and then work again, just through here. When you're ready, bring yourself up to a stand and just take the ball or the roller from right to left underneath your foot. All you're going to do is slowly start to make your way down from about the ball of the toes through towards the heel and back up. Once, maybe twice, depending on how quickly you're working. Just try and cover off all parts of the sole of the foot here though. And then we'll change to the other side when you're ready. Again, rights through left. That little zigzag across and down the foot, down along the sole, in towards the heel. And then back towards the ball of the toe. And then from there, just refinding that same position again that we started with. So you're just over the top of the back foot for a couple of extra reps. 1 and 2, 3 maybe. Same on the other side. And then try your little front to back motion as well. Hopefully that'll be feeling a little bit lighter, a little bit looser, a little bit freer. Yeah, cool. All right, guys, thank you.